Hey, it's MKSilverSax.
And Malankore.
Today we've compiled a video of our last few online races in Forza Horizon 3 using consumer-grade track-ready cars. We're going to be talking about our thoughts on the in-game cars and what we think that has translated from in terms of their real-life counterparts, and also talk about some of the general game and playing mechanics we feel make and or break parts of the Forza Horizon 3 experience. So I remember when we were starting off driving some of these cars, kind of doing head-to-heads online, I was sticking with the Z28. That was my go-to car, and you're testing out a couple different ones. And
Yeah, I was getting a little bit frustrated. I'm kind of an import guy myself, so a lot of times I'll be going with like Nissan or a couple different brands like that. So, the American cars aren't a huge thing for me in video games most times.
yeah, not only that, but you were talking about how you really like to drift more than doing like track-style racing too.
Yeah, I hoon a lot.
But the funny thing is, with some of these cars, you can hoon as well. Like, for example, with the Mustang, that's a hooner's car. With the Camaro, that's
Oh,
probably a hooner's car as well. Just have to make sure to turn off all those traction nannies, right?
oh yeah.
So, yeah, in the initial races, Malankore, he was wondering how I would just skip ahead so quickly, especially when I was down at least about 100 horsepower. And then I finally said, hey, for 75,000 credits in the game, just buy one. And I think I've turned you into a fan.
It's I'll confirm it. It's now my absolute favorite car.
Yeah, but here's my thought: is okay, how much is this translating from the actual cars in real life? Like, I know in the game, I'm really enjoying Z28, and of course any other car at that, but just realizing how much of an advantage I have when I actually drive it. But watching other YouTube videos and videos where people are actually driving the car itself, talking about how they feel more confident taking turns with it, and of course in this game, like I would pick it over the Z06 or the ZL1, which just came out, or any other sort of modern muscle car. But of course, you know, um, I think that's what, when GM actually created a car, that's what they were trying to take away from it, was let's take a muscle car and turn it into a track-focused car. And I think the turns are the proof in the pudding, I would say, on how that has really been able to outperform some of its competitors. So, man, I really like the way this GeForce experience records videos. It looks good.
Oh, it really does. And it's almost seamless as far as how to activate it.
Yeah, what I noticed too is that the AMD version of it is basically the same, and I'm wondering if they use the same background program, if they have the same developer. Or,
Yeah, like maybe they didn't develop the software themselves, but they licensed it. And
yeah,
maybe they both happen to license the same technology and just tweak it for their needs, which, you know what, is perfectly fine. You don't have to reinvent the wheel every single time.
no, I think what they did was like what you're saying with being seamless, but I've noticed that in using both of them on AMD side and NVIDIA side, that I haven't had any sort of like performance dips. And just keeping in mind that the video that we're seeing here, I'm playing and recording on a laptop. Granted, it's a GTX 1070 in a laptop, but still a laptop nonetheless.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks pretty good. I don't know what it's going to end up looking like after YouTube compresses it, but I'm going to try to upload as high of a quality file as I can, and I'll just let YouTube take care of it. But yeah, let's talk about the game a bit, because there were some gripes that I brought up in the last few episodes, videos, especially my ZL one video where I was talking about the aesthetics of the game and how its developers really focused on the visual aspect, and I think they did a great job.
I would agree. The game looks stunning.
I would say the audio is where it falls behind, and for some people, that can actually be what breaks the game for them, especially the entire experience. I mean, if you go out and buy a game that looks as great as this, you want the whole package of the experience. And there are some things with the audio, I think that's kind of broken, especially on the replays, which we were speaking earlier. Didn't even know there's a replay feature, but it's because we play online a lot more than anything, and they don't give you the option to watch replays online. You can only do it in the single-player adventure. But
it's such a shame, because it would be so great to be able to go back and see those live events, playing against other players, see where they excelled, where you maybe didn't excel, and be able to work on that and improve from there.
No, absolutely. Yeah, not only that, but it would be great just to be able to throw some things up on YouTube. You know, and another thing that I spoke about in one of the last videos is that the camera angles. It's all attached to the car in some way. And the ones where it's outside of the car, it's like on a gimbal or some sort of like floating, I think they call it like a, I can't remember what it's named, like a pole or something. Anyway, it rotates around it so quickly that you almost become like nauseous when you're watching it, because it's spinning around. It's like being on one of those like teacup rides.
Sorry to interrupt, but that race ended so closely.
I know. I don't think you knew how close we ended until you saw my video. I'm like, I could win. I could almost win.
Yeah, it was close.
Yeah, we had to cut a couple ones out because at some point in time, one of us would definitely go off onto the side of the road and hit a wall or something, just because we were also talking throughout this whole time too.
We were talking, and we were pushing each other. We were right on each other's tails every chance we could get.
Yeah. This one I thought I had a good start off, but obviously the grip is not as great as that GT350R. Because that one, I would almost put that head to head with the Z28. I mean, that one, I think even for the Motor Trend channel, when they did the head-to-head between the Z28 and the GT350R, that the GT350R won.
I love this turn. It really shows the grip difference.
Oh yeah, I mean you were able to take the inside and didn't have to slow down as much. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I stand corrected. It wasn't this turn. It's one that's coming up. Yeah, I love this. I think it's this turn actually, where you can really see the difference in grip.
Oh yeah.
You kind of lose it, and you can just see me rocket shipping.
Oh, then here's
just
where I
right on you. I almost lost it here as well.
Did you even touch the wall there, or not?
No, I never touched it. I was close. Whole time I'm going, no, 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 no. Just trying to get off that wall.
Was it this race or another race? You were like, I could count on one hand how many times I used the brakes. I think it was that other one, that rainy one through the forest. That you're like,
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, you were basically like, I only used it 3 times.
Yeah, I only touched the brake 3 times. The only other thing I did was I just got off the throttle a little bit, and it just right through the corners. And this coming from a guy who doesn't grip race. I hoon. Yeah.
You know, it would really be nice to get some more wheel support in this game, especially for the wheels that a lot of people have. I have the Driving Force GT, and I know a lot of people have been complaining that this game does not support it.
The part that really worries me is that, I mean, they released their updated list of wheels, and this was, I want to say was it last year? Like, towards the end of the year last year, and nothing has happened since. We haven't seen any other updates.
Yeah. Yeah, that, and it'd be nice to get some multi-GPU support, because, you know, a while back, I purchased those 2 Radeon R9 290s, and there have been several games that use them fairly well in Crossfire. This one, I could tell that it's just using one card, and that's a shame because I find myself playing on my laptop more than my desktop, and I'd love to use my desktop for this game. But yeah, there's just, I don't know, my desktop cards are just not putting out the frames per second that my laptop is. Anyway, here's the main video. Yeah, you're on my tail a bit there.
Oh yeah. I actually had to brake during that corner to not hit you. I took it a little hotter than you did.
Yeah.
I feel like you might have taken that one a little safer just to get through the first lap.
I did, actually. In fact,
yeah.
I kind of held back. I would say that all of these races, I didn't really give it my all. I would say about 99%, but there was a little bit of reserve. It's that last corner right there that I tend to push that corner a little bit harder most times. I think the fastest lap I've done on this course has been a 1 minute even, and like I want to say 2:28 or something. So it's 1.00 colon, I guess, 228.
I always love that previous corner back there with the side-to-side motion.
Oh yeah. Oh, like turns 1, 2, and 3 or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I also like this one because you can just throw into it, just bam. You feel the car leave the ground and then catch the grip.
Yeah.
It's a fun one.
That last one, you really have to slow down a ton, but when you do it rewards you. Yeah.
Overall, I've found it's a very, very fun car to drive. Like I said earlier, it has become my favorite vehicle to drive. I drive it all over the place now. It took you a while to get me to pick one up, and you know, I originally had picked up the Super Sport, and you're like, that one's good, but you should try this one.
Yeah. Generation older. It's a generation older, but
yeah,
I've got to admit, there's a soft spot in my heart for these Camaros. I do own one, so. And the nice thing is, the one I own, the 1LS, you know, just the cheapest, most basic model, actually shares more parts with the Z28 than any other Camaro of that generation, because that's what they did. They took the base model and then they threw in that LS7 427 V8 and, you know, a couple other things, and called it a day. Alright, I'm going to wrap up the video here. Thanks for watching, and if you like it, please comment, subscribe, like, and we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks.
Later.